Hey, what's happening? Happy Wednesday night. It's 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock my time. 10 p.m. EST. What's up, you guys? Thanks for being here tonight. I'm kind of like in the middle of like trying some crazy stuff, as you guys can probably already see. You're like, what's this? uh, welcome to a freestyle session tonight, you guys. And I wouldn't want to spend it with anybody else. So thank you guys for being here. And I hope that the winter time I hope you're avoiding the winter blues by cleaning cards or doing something fun. Because it's been a cold one in Michigan, you guys, I'll tell you that. Oh, good, man. I'm glad you guys got recovery. Yeah, somebody got recovery. Have fun with it, Have fun with it. And it's going well, you guys. It's going well over here. Let me say hi. I would love to say hi to you guys. Oh, what's going on, you guys? Happy Wednesday night. I am happy everybody's here, and I'll fill you guys in on what we'll do tonight. And hey, you guys, thanks for all the super awesome buzz yesterday on the post for the 7 years of sobriety. Appreciate you guys. I really made that post to hopefully give those that needed a nudge. Because the world's a much better place with you actively participating in it. So I'm glad you guys are here tonight. And I found that like I overthink everything. I don't know if you guys can relate to that at all, but if you're one of those people, I am too. And I get so excited for you guys to come over on Wednesdays that I'm like, pick out 50 things I want to do. So usually I find when I do that, I'm just like, blah, 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 blah. And maybe those are fun. So I can't guarantee I'm not going to do those anymore. But I tried to break it down to a couple things tonight. Like we got a great vintage card. We got a 58 Topps Mickey Mantle. And it's at the end of the process. So, because how sometimes you guys, it's hard. Like on the Wednesday Night Live show, if you guys have never been here before, welcome. I'm Kurt with Kurt's Card Care. Thank you for being here. It's nice to meet you. And if you're a regular or a returning guest, what's up, man? Thanks for coming. But what we'll do is we'll work on a variety of cards here tonight. And I try to let you guys program the show, so I always get requests for vintage cards. So I love vintage cards too. Shout out to Josh and his wife. You guys, what's up? You guys, hope you're having a good time working on the collection. And then Pokemon, man, I'm fascinated with Pokemon now. So I'm ready. Like, I didn't grow up collecting Pokemon cards. I guess it just because I was just too old for it or whatever. It didn't hit me in the sweet spot the way like Garbage Pail Kids did, or Marvel or basketball cards, stuff like that. That hit me. What's up, you guys? I'm so happy you guys are all here. Make yourselves comfortable. I got plenty of room. Come on in. And, but you know what? I really enjoyed Pokemon cards because you guys do. That's why, so it's like, now I really want to be like, freaking awesome at making them fantastic. So you guys that grew up loving them the way I grew up loving Garbage Pail Kids or Joe Dumars or Michael Jordan or whatever, I know that exists. So like I'm gonna do my best, you guys. So, and welcome, you guys. Thank you guys so much. You guys make my day better. You know what I mean? You make my day better. I'm pretty much a lone ranger. I'm pretty quiet. I work in silence. I do a lot of work in this room. I got a wonderful staff and a wonderful crew, and they handle a lot of stuff. But yeah, I look forward to this. I really look forward to it. You guys, I saved the Vial Plume. Is that what somebody's asking me about? Did I send it to get regraded? I am definitely gonna get that regraded. It's got to be better than a 4. That way, if you guys haven't watched that, that might be my high water mark. It's like the best Pokemon card I ever did. I won't talk about it right now. We'll do more Pokemon stuff tonight. Look at this, you guys. I'm gonna try to top myself, and I got some results to show you guys. I got stuff that you've never seen me do to Pokemon cards. We're gonna do tonight. All right. So we're gonna do some stuff. Yeah, and so we'll do that. And you guys, and to anybody out there watching the show tonight, that. If you didn't see my post yesterday, I celebrated 7 years alcohol free. And I bring that up because there's so many friends I make through my business in this community that are struggling. And I just want you to know, you guys, that there ain't nothing wrong with you. And you ain't special. addiction messes with all kinds of people, everybody. Me, I hit me hard, so I'm happy to be 7 years out of it. But I want you guys to know that, if you are struggling, you can get out of it. You can get out of it. And I get all the card care questions every day, but I definitely get some questions about addiction and fighting addiction and getting over it. So I answer all of them. So you know that, you guys. Like I said, the world's a better place with you participating in it. I believe that. And I also think, like I said, so many creative, brilliant people suffer from addiction. And if you can just get rid of that, man, let all your magic out. Holy shit. It's awesome. It's awesome. You know what I mean? So, also, you guys, another one tonight, Prism cards that are wonky and scratches. So we're going to do a Pokemon Prism and an old card. Let's do it. Like, between that, I know I'm doing something that you like. There's got to be something in there you like. And you know what I bet you'll like even more? The more you work on cards. Just like I told you how I started liking Pokemon cards because you guys do. I bet you if you watch me work on some of these cards, you're like, I want to buy a Pokemon card now. Like, why not? Because guess what? I'd much rather be sitting here fiddling around with baseball cards and Pokemon cards than getting fucked up and hurting myself. You know what I mean? So, like, cheers to that. And cheers to that, you guys, is my good friend Diet Coke. All right? And I love you guys. Thanks for all the good words. I freaking love you guys. You're the best. So we'll have fun. Let me take a sip of this and we'll turn it around. I was trying to think of where to start because I'm always like a producer. I'm like, where should we start here tonight? How about Pokemon's gonna take a little bit, so I'm gonna have you guys pick. We gotta do this one last. Do you guys want to start with vintage or start with Prism? Vintage, we're gonna talk about drying it, getting a semi-soak and some wrinkles out, or do you guys want to talk about getting a scratch off of a Prism card and flattening it first? So we can do that. So I'll wait a good 30 seconds. Oh, you guys know I got the Diet Dew. Brandy hooked me up. We got Diet Dew, Diet Coke, and I got the, I like Gatorade Zero too. I see enough word vintage. We're doing vintage. All right, so here's what I want to do. I need to get some pictures up here. So it's okay, you guys, if I do a little storytelling, because I know it's fun when you see a vintage card get soaked. And trust me, you guys can watch that video. Like, I got tons of those. I'll show you those. But we're going to talk about vintage a little bit first, and then I got to do some pictures. It's going to be like a show and tell. But most important, I want you to have a good takeaway from it. All right? So here's what I want you to do. Visualize this. I'm going to show, well, you don't really have to visualize it. I'm going to show you. But I want to show you the right pictures. I'm a cameraman of one and a talent of one over here tonight, all right? So let me show you guys something. So, like, this is a 1958 Mickey Mantle card. Great card. It's a very good-looking card, too. So you guys see that? And then we'll see. These are hard. These are difficult, like little wrinkles and stuff to get off the front. But I want you got to lock this into memory, okay? So we got that. And you see just how it's all dirty. Everything's just dirty. Everything's gross, kind of, right? So when you see that, what I want you guys to think of first is it's not, the card is not, it's not all dirty and disgusting and covered in filth. It just has some like structural damage. So the first thing I want vintage collectors to think about is, all right, a semi-soak should be good. You don't need to card soak that card. Now, can you? Yes. But you don't have to. I always like to do what's fastest and most effective. If I'm going to tell you guys, it's like, because I do a lot of projects. I'm busy and I have a short attention span, believe it or not. And I tell you guys to have all this patience and stuff, but I'm really just talking to myself. So I figure if I can follow it, you can follow it. So with that said, I like to do a semi-soak. So what I did was this. I semi-soaked the card. Today's Wednesday night. So my timestamp on this picture is, I know I did it on Monday. Monday at 8 in the morning. Monday at 8 in the morning. Sorry, I couldn't even figure out what I was looking at. So Monday at 8 in the morning, I did this semi-soak. So follow me through it. I did the semi-soak on the card. So what I did, you guys, I sprayed both pads, put the Mickey Mantle in the middle. 1 hour later, I opened it up, and that's when you guys see those creases on the front of it, I used, and you guys, this doesn't have, I have videos that will accompany this. So if you're just like, well, I want to see, so sometimes I'll start these projects here and you only see me start it, and then I have to post pictures at the end. I'm going to show you what we wrapped up with here in a second. So semi-soak on Monday. Today's Wednesday night. It's done. It looks great. But I got the card sprayed and held it in the middle of the mats for an hour. What does that do? It makes the card soft and receptive to more moisture and more wrinkle reducing. So spray, hold, hour. I opened it up and I got card spray on this, and I just went all over the remaining little wrinkles, closed it back up, and opened it up this morning. Held it for over 24 hours because there's only a little bit. So I did not need to change the pads. I didn't do any of that. It was just a very light amount. Today, I'm going to flip this around. This morning, I went and opened it up. So visualize this, you guys. This morning, I had the pads and everything in there. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. I had it like this, it was all. So I took it apart and I admired my nice, dry and flat. And let me show you guys too. See those? That's all I can get. Got a couple little remaining crinkles in there. That's about the best I can do when you got a sea of like creases going across the face. So that's about an accurate kind of turnaround, you guys. But then on the back, when we see that crease, not the best card to work on, like when it comes to like getting everything to go away. But like guys, I could get this thing wet probably 5 more times and it's still gonna always, it's just a difficult thing. So when you get to like this, so this is Wednesday night, right? So what I've done is I've held it in like this. So now the card is like dry. It's pretty much done. What I want to do is put the penny sleeve over this and just give it like a little TLC. Like I'm not gonna, you can't do a ton when you have a card that's so super thin. And after you do a semi-soak, I could get it wet, like I said, 10 more times, and it's still gonna probably see that. But it's still a good time to go in with the edge of your card tool and always trace these areas. And then we're gonna make an assessment and see if we need to do another round. Because semi-soaks are easy. And I figured, you guys, we might need to do maybe one more round, so I wanted to wait to show you where we landed. And I'm going to show you one more thing. I need the pictures too, you guys, because I like to look at them and go, am I spinning my wheels here? Is this getting any better? Should I do another round? But you see how the back of this paper is very soft, okay? And I want to show you something. So that's where I started. And you can still see this in here, okay? But like, I want to show you guys what I'm talking about. Like, it's better, right? But you're going to always see that crease in where it says major, because it has a little crack of the red. Like it's a little bit off. You know what I mean? So don't dig. And then like, you'll see like those still some creases up in Mickey's hat. But I tell you guys what, I'm not a person that gives up easy. And I'd say, keep on going, keep on pushing. But frankly, I think if I keep on doing semi-soaks on this type of card, it's just going to keep on pretty much like looking the same. So what I think is probably a wise move is I'm just going to continue to hold it between my plastic plates like this. Because it's not wet. It's not wet at all. And it looks fantastic. I just want to keep it held. Just make sure that because the corners and edges on this card were all wobbly. So they're perfect and looking awesome right now. But I just want to give you guys a good expectation when it comes to wrinkles and creases. Because I sometimes think that maybe there's an expectation that it's like they just disappear or go away. And I want you guys to know that sometimes, maybe sometimes, but when you have a full-blown card that looks like it's been swung like a screen door on both sides, do a semi-soak, hold it flat, let it rest, dry it nicely, take the win. Don't push it too far. You know what I mean? So, I think that even though we got a crease in there, still looks way better to me and it looks really good. So that's the end of a semi-soak. And like I said, if this was a different situation where it had like dents or something in it and they're almost lifted all the way out, I'd say, keep on going. But when you got these fine creases and all that in there, you guys, at the end of the day, I care about your time. I don't want you to sit there and be like, gotta do another full card soak. Don't do that. Don't ever, if you get to done with a card after you got it all the way wet, all the way dry, you massaged and worked on the wrinkles and creases, and you still get left with a little trace of it in there, by all means, you guys, you can do what I just did. Go in there, work on it, little topically touches, but do not go through a full-on card soak again, because I think you're just going to be wasting a lot of your time. I think it's just going to be like diminishing returns at that point. So I like the fact that this is going to be nice. This was wobbly. This card was wonky. It was out of shape. But as I had a few viewers note, centering's awesome. Looks beautiful. It's not a high grade card because of the wrinkles and stuff like that, but I don't really care about that. I just want it to look its best. And I think that's about as best as it's going to look. All right. So yeah, because if you guys know, for my vintage people on here, 58s are really good looking cards because they're portraits, but they're often off-centered or something like that, So let's move on. You guys want to show you something else? So, oh yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question, Josh. I just saw Josh say something. If you guys don't mind too, I'm going to try to read a couple questions. But I had, who asked me something? I'm sorry, you guys, I'm trying to scroll around here. Yeah, you know what? I think that Kleiny helped out Blizzard Cards, right? You guys, I got a bunch of good friends on here that are super smart card guys. So if there's something that doesn't get answered or you need me, shoot me a message. I'll try to always answer the questions because I really love having you guys here. See, Ed asked the question. Ed, great question. Ed said, on a card like that, would a second full soak chance damaging it? No, I don't think you're going to damage it at all, Ed. I just don't think it's going to get any better when you're dealing with that specific type of crease, man. When you if you guys have little dents or a card's dirty, here's when to know when you keep going for it on a vintage restoration. If it's a super filthy dirty card and it's getting cleaner, then you can keep rolling with it. But if it's wrinkled, I would say one soak is typically gonna do a lot to the wrinkles to relax them. And then after the card, I would dry the card fully. Then when it's fully dry, then reassess it. So that's like a cycle, like getting it cleaned, drying it is like a cycle. And then that's when I'll go in and do the little fine touches. I'll find you guys when you're left with little wrinkles, little creases, little things like that in a vintage card, after you did your first round, go in like real detailed with like little touches of card spray. Leave the little dots on the little wrinkles. Of course, you guys know I'm going to get in there and touch that Mickey Mantle card a couple more times because that's how I am. But it's not going to be a full soak, a card soak. It's going to be little detail touches. And whenever you do something like that, whenever you work on a card like this and get it a little bit wet or things like that, make sure you just let it rest between your black pads. All right? I'm glad you guys were down for listening to that because I always start these projects on here, but I don't always finish them. I show the pictures, and I'll write, oh, it looks pretty good, or oh, that one was amazing, or that one didn't really work that great. But I want you guys to hear me say it, you know what I mean? So cool. Let's move on. I want to do let's do the Arch Manning card next. I remember this. And here's what I remember about this card. One of my customers or viewers sent it to me. I can't remember who sent it. Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry. Let me rewind. Somebody asked about a heat press I'm going to answer the heat press about vintage and then we're going to move on. I usually wouldn't heat press a vintage card, you guys. I usually wouldn't, because I can just usually keep them flat and they'll dry nicely, and they're paper, so they usually dry nicely. However, everybody lives in a different place in the world. There's different temperatures, different relative humidities. If you need to heat press a card, a vintage card, I would suggest this. Like, don't go away. I'll be right back. All right. So if you needed to press a vintage card, I would use your backing boards. I'd use your foam. And I'd also use a couple pieces of parchment paper. I'd put the vintage card between the parchment paper, because I don't want the vintage card to stick to this foam. Because you guys know when I'm pulling these things off, man, it would suck to pull the paint off. So just keep a little bit of parchment paper handy if you guys got a heat press. Because if you put the vintage card between the parchment and did only 115 degrees Fahrenheit or less, or that's about fine, you're not going to hurt it. If you get a vintage card hot in a heat press, you'll start getting hot spots all over it. It's cooked. You screwed up. Shame on you. But it's fun to learn those boundaries. So I highly suggest that when you're learning how to do this type of stuff, you cook the hell out of a card in the heat press so you know the boundaries. Trust me, everything you do in card care, you're learning. And since we have a million base cards, there's no reason not to. All right, so invest your time in finding the boundaries of these cards. But good question. See, I get excited and I move on too quick. Let me dial me back in. All right, so let's go from old stuff to something new. And this is what we're going to do. Arch Manning, and this is an Arch Manning, his Prism card from last year. I think that I jacked this card up somehow. I think I must have got it wet. It's scratched up. So I don't even know the whole story on this, but what I remembered was they have indents. Almost all the art, and if anybody collects Arch Manning, you guys could maybe tell me this. Every single one of these has a valley going down the back of it. So being that I've worked so much more on heat pressing cards and doing slight little humidity chambers with them and stuff like that, I figured, let's get the scratches off this. Because I think when I had this, I didn't even offer my recovery scratch remover. So I want to get there's scratches on it. So everybody has chrome cards with scratches. So let's just do that. And then we'll press it, because it's bad. It's not something that I'll get asked too. Is I'll get a normal. Let me turn this around. It's easier to show you. I'll call something normal prism curve. I don't really have any prism cards sitting here to show you a normal prism curve, but you'll see a normal prism curve, you guys will just kind of be just a little bit of a crescent. If it looks like this, that ain't normal. There's something wrong. It doesn't sit right. That's not good. So if you just got a little bit of a crescent, that's normal. But if it looks like this, no good. So I'll get guys that will say, hey, should I heat press this card? And it will just be a little bit like that. And I'm like, no, man, no, that's a normal one. I'll say, no, just get it graded. It's all good. But if it's got a kink to it, or it's wonky like that, you definitely want to heat press it. Watch my lights, you guys. This is one of the reasons I'll use these lights, because I have a circle lamp and I have a wand lamp. And when the conditions are proper, when I'm looking at something flat, it looks like this. So there's my circle you always see me using, and there's my wand you see me using. So this is how we tell if something's flat. Ooh, that ain't flat. That's not good. I can't even pick up the wand light is whatever. So that's fun though, right? This is a real refractor. This is actual science. This is a refractor. So all right. So now what I want to do, you guys, is show you let's zoom in a little bit closer. Chrome cards get covered in scratches when they're not put away properly. And I probably did this. So, because I found this in a messy, when I found this, I was like, I didn't take very good care of this. It was not in the best condition, but I figured it'd be a good demo card, because it also has, where's that line I'm trying to show you guys? Do you see that indent running down it right there? It goes all the way down the card. That's how this whole journey started. Was I think one of my customers sent something like this to me and said, "Hey, do you think that this will ever come out?" I said, "I don't think so," which maybe not still, but we're going to give it a try. All right. So that's all I got to say about that. So yeah, I think I made notes for it. Let me, here's something too, you guys, if you like working off notes. So the arch, it has scratches, it has an indent on the back, and it's wobbly. I need to clean it and press it. All right. So what I'll do is we'll try to like improve all this stuff. Since you guys were doing all this together right now, I want to do a cleanup first. Now I would typically do the cleanup last, but I got to press it, and we're not going to have the proper time to do that. So let's just do a cleanup, and we'll do some scratch removal if possible. So when you guys have a chrome card like this, and I know I've been handling it horribly, and this might be dirtier than most chrome cards you're going to run into, but it will make a good demonstration at least. So this is guys, we'll do stuff like this tonight, but I also love kicking it like basic stuff because I got a lot of first-time customers that have never even worked on a card. And you guys know, for my advanced people on here, just how satisfying it is to know how to clean up a card, So you guys, this one's for all of us. And if you're new, I would suggest before you ever try to get cards wet or dry or any of that stuff, learn how to handle them by cleaning them first. Just get good at comfortable cleaning them. So let's see. Those are the scratch marks that I would like to reduce or remove. And can I guys just solo here for a second, if it's okay? I want you to understand, I want to talk about scratch removal. All right. So what I'm going to attempt to do here is remove those visible scratches on that card. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. This thing on the back, sometimes I'll get people that will send me, and it's just, we're looking for vocabulary, and I'm also probably, I analyze crazy little cards more than most, right? But I know there's a, if you're in it, you're in it. But my point is, when I showed you that like indent on the back, I'll get my customers will reach out to me and say, "Hey Kurt, I tried using recovery on that thing on the back and it won't go away." It's not a scratch, it's not a scratch. It's like some weird indent. The front, those look like scratches. And what this will do is take care of scratches on a plastic finish, like the front of, if it sounds like this, chances are it's plastic, all right? And here's what you're doing. When you guys have scratches like this, so like these right here did not cut through the plastic. I can't feel them. Fortunately, they're not too bad, but I can tell by the eye test that these are on the top of the card. When you have, even though there's a whole bunch of these, and you'll see them here again, even though that there's a whole bunch of these scratches on here, I can probably get a good chunk of them to go away because they're on the top coat, plastic. If you guys got a Pokemon card, yeah, there's a little plastic there, but not a lot. So if you guys, front or the back, if you got recovery and you put it on the front of a Pokemon card like this and just, gave it all your best and polished the heck out of it, you could make this thing so freaking shiny and so abnormal that if you like your cards to look like that, that's fine, but that would not be an original look, and it would look really goofy. It would look really weird. So you got to be careful with scratch remover. Card polish, scrub away. It won't get past a certain clean. It will be clean and nice. Have fun with this. But be careful with it, especially if you like getting your cards graded. You do not want to make them look like a disco ball when they never looked like a disco ball. Follow me? That's Pokemon. This thing, you guys, is a hard plastic finish. You got a lot more grace when you're working on a chrome card or a prism card, okay? And you guys, if I gave this to an auto detailer to get a scratch out of like a premium vehicle, they would probably throw this back to me and say, dude, it's just not cutting. It's too bland. Right. Because I didn't make this for like a 2 millimeter resin on an automobile. So this is very fine polish, and it's fine for plastics. You won't even ever like buzz a hole through a chrome or a card like that. A real scratch, you guys, is almost like if you zoom in on a real scratch on plastic, it looks like a shark teeth. Tons of little burrs, tons of little scratches. When you go in there with a super micro abrasive and buff it out, dulls down all those nappy teeth, and it makes a scratch like disappear. So this stuff is not like a glue or a makeup or a filler or anything like that. It's really taking care of distressed or scratched plastic. So I just want you guys to see the matrix, you know what I mean? Like, so what you're doing. Because it's not just like buy this, rub it all over the front of everything and the back of everything. You know what I mean? I want you guys to like be able to identify it and go after it. So now this, you guys, now that we know what this is, it's a plastic card, we buff on it, it's gonna be cool. So I'm gonna show you how to do it. So let's turn this around, then we'll press it. And I'm gonna do a combo here, you guys. Yep, so I like to use card polish and recovery together. They make a great combination. And this will just help me, like, and it's okay if, like I said, typically you guys, I'd get the card flat and do this second, but really it doesn't even matter. It's fine. When I'm done getting the card flat, I'll probably use some card spray to just wipe off the front. You know what I mean? Yeah, appreciate you guys like sharing like good user information and good user knowledge. That's why everybody comes here. You know, I'm sure people like to see the cards get cleaned up, but it's like great chunks of knowledge, you guys. So thanks everybody for just being like open-handed and sharing. I love that. So look, we're clean, man. It's clean, but we do have real scratches. So it's okay. Like, we'll just change our approach a little bit. And what I want to do is use some recovery. And I just put I probably put more than I need. You only need a little bit. But let's do our best. And I'm going to do it in like 2 stages, you guys. I'm going to fold my cotton like this. And just, let's see. I got scratches next to arch on both sides. So I'm just going to kind of move it to the area I need it. And I'm going to start. And I'm not going to get like carpal tunnel syndrome doing this. Don't push hard. You can always like come back and do another round. And since this works on super light scratches, you don't ever need to push hard. If you got some giant ass scratches in your cards, you guys, just accept it. It just is what it is, you know. But when you're working with this, keep it light. Do it just like I'm doing, and you'll be fine. Yeah. I had somebody ask, could you, if you got like card polish on the edge of a card, could it discolor it? Yeah, just not permanently, just temporarily, you guys. Like if you get card polish or anything like that on a paper card, it just gets it a little damp. Just let it dry. And now I'm happy with all those like swirls I just did right there, you guys. That'd be like one application. And I'm going to come back in and do another one. I still see a little bit of scratching in here, so I'm just going to use a little bit like that. Oh, and hey, yeah, I wanted to mention something to you guys. I have, between the live show and then the posts and then our contests and feedback and all this stuff, all the things that, you know, I feel like that you guys enjoy watching. On my website, I have a monthly recap. So if you ever were like, hey, you know, I've been out for a month, or I need a recap, you know, what's going on, If you guys go to kurtzcardgear.com and click on the monthly recap, it's kind of just like a little quick overview of the month. So I don't know. I always like stuff like that. So if you like to process stuff like that, please do. I like Blizzard of Cars says, card polish to me is the most satisfying thing ever. Man, for guys like us that love collecting and projects and cleaning, I can't argue with you. It's satisfying as hell. I like doing the scratch removal. I think it's fun. So here, let's see how good we did here. I think that these should come up pretty good. I got some heavier scratches on this side, but whatever, we'll see how we did. Yeah, I'm going to have to do another treatment over here. But check this out. Look at that side. Whoop, whoop. But look at this side. Still got a little bit in there. See it? But isn't that nice? And you see, guys, how it doesn't hurt the card or mess it up or anything. Just gets those little fine things out of there. Yeah, so that's cool. All right, so, oh yeah, you guys, if anybody's asking about card grading, like I said, just do things properly. Don't, the chances you guys of getting cards marked altered by surprise would be a surprise to me too, because usually, the things I teach are like cleanups like this and stuff like this, where it's awesome, but it's not like altering the card, you're just kind of giving it a tune-up. But if you ever made a mistake with something and screwed something up, man, you would know. It's not something that really happens down the road. It's kind of like in front of you. So just practice on stuff, man. Have fun. Get comfortable. Don't work on your favorite ones like day one, Pretty darn good, right? Those are pretty fierce. So I'll show you guys where I started with those. And then we got to heat press it. All right, so let me show you. I think I took a picture. like I said, you guys too, take before and after pictures so you can follow your projects, you know what I mean, and see what you're doing. Because look at this, that was pretty bad. That was scratchy as hell when we started. And that side I still got a little bit, but you see how bad that was? That's the stuff that recovery is good at. And did you guys see how I didn't even I spent a minute or two on it? So don't overdo it. Just do it like I showed you right there. And just understand, just practice with it and get comfortable with it. And this was what I was saying. If you have a big old line on the back of your card that's like a factory indent, where is this damn thing? It's all right here. That's not a scratch. I could put recovery on it 50 times, right? And nothing would ever happen. It just wouldn't work, But does that make sense, you guys? So now what I want to do is let's get this thing flat. And I gotta tell you something. I got 2 heat presses now. So what I did, I got a heat press now. I got another heat press because I had viewers and customers tell me that the one I got on Amazon that I have a link of is the temperature's bouncing around and it's not working well. So I'm like, well, shit, I don't want to refer something that doesn't work well. But so here's my story. The one that I've had this little heat press for probably 3.5 years, and I've never had a problem with it. But I've had more people tell me that it's shit, basically. So I'm like, ugh. So when you guys see this new heat press over here, you don't have to run out and buy a new heat press. I'm just trying to find a different one too, because I got plenty of projects. I'm gonna warn you, it's pretty freaking sweet looking. It's like the Mac Daddy heat press, but I want you to know that my little Vivor one, all the cool stuff I did was I used it forever. I used it. I still got it. I'm not getting rid of it, but I'm trying to find another option. So let me show you what we're gonna do. All right. So if anybody has the Vivor on here, and it was bouncing around on temperature, and you fixed it, tell us how, because That would make me mental. And I hate referring stuff to my friends and my customers. That sucks. I'd rather not refer shit. You know what I mean? So hold on, let me get my stuff and I'll show you what we're gonna do. I'm over here. I'll be back in 1 second. So here's what I want to do. We're going to do the heat press on the Manning. And I'm going to use a little bit of card spray because it's wonky. All right, so listen. If you guys see this one and you're like, oh, do I got to get a new heat press? Hell no. Because it's just heat and press. That's all it is. And the one I got here tonight, I can't buy. I found a way to rewire it and take the timer off, which is a different show and a different story. But it does only let me go to 16 minutes. And then I have to turn it off and turn it back on, which is no big deal. But anyways, when you see this, don't say, oh, great, now I got to get a new one. No, if your other one works, it's all good. All right. So I'm just going to use a little bit of card spray. And I'm only doing, this is going to be the back side. I don't need to get that plastic side any bit. I'm going to do a little bit of dampness on the back so it creeps around. And I want to pull that little freaking line out, hopefully. I want to impress you guys with something. So let me, that's maybe a little wet. I'm going to wipe it down a little bit. And how do I know this and sit here and do this stuff like this? Because I sit here and do this crazy stuff all day. And I don't expect you to have to do it all day, but I do want you to practice because I can only answer so many questions before I say, get busy, baby. Have fun. No more talking. Time to get busy. Go work on some cheap cards. But let's go over to the heat press and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right. So here's the big dog. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. Let me see what you're seeing. Okay, so this thing's bigger. Yes, I know. And what I'm going to do is this right here, you guys, is a 6-inch by 9-inch piece of plexiglass that's 1/8 of an inch thick. And here's our card. We're going to go just like that. And I'm setting the temperature to 165 degrees Fahrenheit. It's going to go right up there. And 999 seconds is going to count down, which is roughly 17 minutes. All right, so what I'm doing with this one is I'll let it, we'll still be on the phone call here by the time it turns off. And I'll turn off the switch and I'll turn it back on and it'll go another 16 minutes and then I'll be done with it. That card will be flat. And then tomorrow morning when I open it up, I'll show you guys what it looks like. All right. When that is a big press and I figured, it's cool to have, I like the size of my Vivor one. I like the little one because it's like for cards, you know what I mean? But if it's not consistent, I'm going to try a couple things. It works for me though. So, hey, if you guys like Pokemon stuff, you stayed for some fun stuff. All right. I'll tell you that. And I know sometimes, I like to hype it up, but not too much. I don't think, I try to keep it pretty accurate, but I've done some fun stuff. Yo, you guys, what's up, man? Glad everybody's here tonight. Sincerely, you guys. Thanks everybody for being here. So what I'm going to do, the heat press rate, guys, is going to be a 30-minute total process. I think you could probably run a card in a heat press for a day if you really wanted. I just don't know if it would get that much better. But I'm going to show you guys some stuff and we're going to find out because what I'm excited about is doing crazy stuff, awesome stuff to Pokemon cards that I can teach everybody how to do. So there's no of course there's always going to be limitations, I think, but I like to find as minimal limitations as possible and as many awesome things as possible. And I got to show you guys some cool stuff. All right, so let me show you some stuff. Let me turn this thing around. All right, you guys can stretch. Give me 30 seconds. It looks like kind of like a card care bomb blew up over here. I just want to get a little bit organized and then we'll proceed, all right? And thanks everybody for coming to hang out tonight. I seriously mean that. And if you guys are new or you haven't hung out before, every Wednesday night, 10 p.m. EST on Instagram. Oh, can I show you guys something that is awesome? Let me show you this. Jose, if you're here. So my friend Jose and his wife, who are teachers, and they teach like an applied technology curriculum where they teach kids and their students how to like do real world stuff and make hands-on things. Look at what Jose and his wife made me. And check out what this does, you guys. It is a top loader and penny sleeve dispenser. Is that the most amazing freaking thing that Jose and his wife made for me? I love you guys. So thank you for this. Like, it's almost like when your kid makes you a card. And I don't know, it's just special, man. Nobody ever made stuff like this for me, and now it's like, you guys are so awesome. So thank you. I love it. But what I want to show you guys with the Pokemon stuff was, you see this, you guys? Yeah, that's what I said. No way, Jose. I'm like, man, freaking stud. Like, of all the things that they could have made in the world, all of a sudden they hit me up the other day and said, hey, Kurt, do you have a P.O. box? And I said, yeah, of course. They're like, we made you something. I'm like, you did? And then that shows up, and I'm like, whoa, that is so cool. Thank you. So I want to tell you guys, let me get my Pokemon set up over here. Okay. Now, we're going to do like a little like show and tell here. Yeah, it does, you guys. It's not good. And, ooh, I got more. You guys are going to be proud of me, my Pokemon friends. I got a lot to show you. So I owe you guys an explanation. So like, because I know that Pokemon cards don't like really get that messed up. Maybe they do, but I'll tell you what I did. So this right here, I put this in I put it in a cup, a drinking glass of tap water for an hour. So this was in tap water for an hour. And if you guys ever tried to soak something in water, it gets so puffy and lumpy and shit. You know what I mean? So it's like, don't soak stuff in water. But I did. So I soaked it in water. And I want to show you guys like the... and this is, guys, starting right here. For here to the rest of the live show. This is experimental stuff that I'm not saying like go figure it, go do it. It's tried and true. Go work on your best stuff. Not saying that. I'm showing you what I'm seeing is possible. Okay? I want to show you what's possible. And I want to show you guys a couple pictures here. And I just need to get my my lineup here. Okay, so I want to point some stuff out. So this one right here, I soaked this card in tap water for 1 hour, and it started floating up because it was getting these bubbles in it. And it was getting bubbles. It was separating. Hey, Chris, what's up, buddy? Thanks for the love, man. Glad you stopped in. Okay, and it was this. Umbreon. Okay, so I soaked this Umbreon in a cup of tap water because I wanted just to like mess it up, you know? So I did that. And, well, I got the other one on the desk here, okay? So that was the Umbreon, okay? So remember, this is not the Umbreon. But this is. Or the Espeon, not the Umbreon, Espeon. Like, so check it out. I did both of these. They both started like this. And then now this one is back to that. So let's go back to over here. I'm going to bring the light around here too, you guys. So this is the Espeon. Sorry. The worst thing is I don't know how to say Pokemon card names real well. So you guys fill in the blanks. Espeon. That's it. That's the card. Let's look at the finish, please. This is it. So you guys want to see how I did it? So that's why you came, right? So that's the card. And this was, look at this. This was on February 2nd. So that was just 2 days ago. It looked like that. All right. And look at, see my circle from the circle light? It's legit. Maybe a little crescent on the back, a little tiny curve maybe. Okay. So they went from, that to this. And what I learned is a lot. I learned a lot. And I learned that there's certain Pokemon cards that you can soak. And full-on soak. And that's one of them. This is about as good as it gets for me, man. Like, I think this is even cooler than that Vileplume I did last week. Like, I'm so dialed into these Pokemon cards now where I'm like, I can see it now. And I have so many customers that love these. And even though I know that you can save up all your money and go out and buy a great one, I have customers that love these and love doing stuff like this too. So now let me kind of break it down for you. So here's what, this is standing straight up. What I'm going to show you guys is, take a look. There it is. Hello. Standing straight up. So what I figured out, you guys, is, or what I've been trying was, I put that Espeon that was, all cooked up like this one. If you guys are just joining, these both had the same issue, and now this one looks awesome, and this one's not there yet, but we'll get this one there yet. And I was gonna try to say the name. I'm like, I'm sure I'll say it wrong. Puppetar? I don't know. I suck at the names, but what I tried to do was, when I had it this bad, now this is an extreme case. I'm going to do stuff way different than this too, you guys. So sit tight. We're going to do a bunch of these coming up. But this is extreme. I know that most Pokemon cards are not going to be this extreme. So that said, we can still make some great progress here. What I figured out was being really, puppy. Is that how you say it? Puppy? I don't know. See, I suck at these words. I'll show you how to make them look good. You guys teach me how to say the names. I suck. I'm trying to read everybody's phonetics. Pupitar, puppetar, like a puppy. Whatever. But you guys say I'm right. I'll show you how to take care of them. But what I learned was, I put this in humidity for like a day, 2 days after it was all crappy like this. It didn't really do much. Like, if you guys watched my fun video I did of the Dark Vileplume, I can say that name, Dark Vileplume. Pupitar. I think that's the name. I was able to humidify it and it curved up like a taco and it was amazing. But it started flat. Remember, it started flat. This thing is like a half pipe. So like when I put it in the humidor, I noticed that it got humid, but I really couldn't do a lot with it. So I said, let's soak it. So what I did, you guys, with this card over here, I soaked it in card spray, got it flat, because once you can get these things flat, you can press them. And I'm going to talk about that too. So let me turn this thing around. So follow me. I'm going to rattle some stuff off here, you guys, and this will be recorded and all that good stuff. But what I want you to feel free to try any of this. Like I said, none of this is a process yet that I have set in stone. I'm going to tweak it. But I know that when I show this to a bunch of smart people that are awesome with card care, let's just we'll nail it together. It's like so many people doing it at once. But like, here's the thing that I realized from Pupitar, or from Espeon. You can still see there's a couple little ridges I still got in there. Turned out overall like freaking awesome. But there's still a few little things I learned. I'm like, all right, if you want to get it graded, it's not going to get a 10 because it's got a kind of a couple dings in the back. Still looks like sweet, I mean, people would enjoy to see your work if you show them how to do something like this. But, I want to try to tighten it up the best I can for you. So here we go. So what we got to do is get this card flat. And once we can get this card flat, we can hold it. And this is going to take, I'm going to have to show you guys like the follow-up like tomorrow or something or whenever, but it's going to be a good one and I'm going to film all of it. And once you can get these things to relax, you can hold them flat and then press them typically. And they go through a lot before they get flat, okay? So and it takes a little bit to get a Pokemon card flat or to wet you guys. It will creep in through the edges. But by the time it gets to the middle, it takes a minute. So I'm just trying to get it equally kind of in there. But listen, don't push it. Don't push it, okay? So let me show you something. Oh, let me grab something. And I keep these over here because they're like, oh, you guys, I soaked this card too. Yes, this, let me show you, I'll show you guys something else that I'm working on too. So hang tight. I'm going to show you guys a card that I have in the process right now. So you guys see this one? This is one that you're not seeing yet because I got it in a different place. But I'm working on this one right now too. And I'll show you where that one's at. So let me make some space, my friends, and we will take a look together. Okay, so the card that is creased up, let me show you what we got going on in here. So I got the humidor super juiced up, 99% humidity. And here it is. So the one that I just showed you guys with the creases, it's still got creases in there because I haven't been able to press it yet. I'm still getting it totally soft. I soaked this card earlier before you guys got here to see if I can get rid of creases. So more to explain on this one later, but I'm trying a separate test on creases. So hang with me. And if you guys are just joining, what I was able to do was this week I've been able to make some really nice progress on really messed up Pokemon cards. That's our Arch Manning timer. Now I'm turning it off and on. We're going another 15 minutes. So I'm going to get my pictures lined up here. And what the thing is, you guys, you really, here's what I'm learning. And this is all written in pencil because it could change a lot. Maybe not a lot. I think I'm pretty close. You got to beat these things up kind of to get them back flat. the fact that the back of this card was so, and you can see the shine, real Pokemon shine, right? The back of this card was so jacked up. It was so screwed up. I'll show you guys if you just started watching. This was that card that I'm holding up right now. That's when it had the bubbles super wrinkled up. You guys see like the creases and stuff cutting through there. So that was that bad. And just in 2 days, I was able to get it like that. And the way I did it was this. After it got all beat up and soaked and nasty, I soaked it in card spray. I had to relax it because I tried putting it in humidity first, and it wasn't working. So I'm like, all right, if I can get it all the way wet, I can get it dry. And what I did with this, with the card that I just showed you guys, the energy card in the humidor that's creased, since I'm just freestyling here and trying to get better at this, I wish that when I soaked that earlier, I would have put it between, I wish I would have made a card sandwich of it right away, because I wish I wouldn't have let it curl like that. That's something I already learned. Because now I have to like get it flat again. It might work out. But most of the stuff you guys I did are on old Pokemon. So like now getting into more modern era stuff is kind of unique because I find older Pokemon cards relatively a little bit easier to work on. The materials I find are a little bit more giving. So to be able to get a card that was freaking soaked back to this, for me at least, I'm like, that's wicked good for me. Like that's a tough one. I've never been able to get in the texture. You know what made it all happen? Heat press. That's what made it happen, was being able to do pressure sessions. And you know what I was doing with this? Let me show you. The thing is, you guys, this card right now and this card that I have in the tray, the soaking tray, it is, hold on, extreme close up for 1 second. What I'm doing is I'm turning this thing around. Because you see how I got to get this thing wet. And the thing was I wanted it to kind of go down on its own. But as you see, when you have a card this jacked up, you got to give it a little bit of a push, unfortunately. Well, maybe fortunately. Maybe it just is what it is. I'm trying to get that thing as wet as possible. And I know it's sloppy looking, you guys. But that's how I got this thing to look like this. Was I had to muscle it. Way more. Way more than like any other type of, hey Danny, good to see you, buddy. Way more than like any sports card. But being able to get it totally damp again, and albeit wrinkled and looks like total shit after doing the press. And here's how I was doing the press. Since I got this new press and it's like 15-minute timer, I'm putting it in the pads, but I was also using parchment paper because these were kind of damp. But here's the thing. You can't put something in the heat press. Well, I'm not going to be so absolute, but I'm pretty sure. You can't put stuff in the heat press when it's real wet because it turns into a steam bath and you cook it and it's terrible. Try it. It's fun. Trust me, I know. But the thing is, when these cards are kind of damp, and if I just did the black pads, they're going to stick to the black pads. And when I open it up, I could screw it up. So what I'm doing is cardboard. I got something in there right now. Backing board, foam, this, black foam, cardboard. And every 15, I'd go 15 minutes, you guys. Not just open it up and look at it. I flip the card over like I'm cooking a steak. Close that thing back up, 15 more minutes. Open up, take a look at it. And then I'd do one more session, close it and leave it. I'd come back in an hour or two and take a look at it. And just kept doing that. Then when I was taking it out, I soaked both of these cards. But this one I found has a different color. This is a 2022. You guys, the collectors would know like this series or whatever, but this blue is a darker blue. it looks to me. Or it's like a matte finish on the back of this card more. Or maybe I just suck at this one and I got better between these two because the shine is different. So I got maybe that much better between the two. But my point is, when I have all those millions of little wrinkles in the back, you guys, I was just getting my penny sleeve card tool and just, one at a time going over them. And then I'd find little ridges because they have creases in them. So I would just go in here. Because the great part about the card tool, man, is like the tubing spreads out like a nice paintbrush, man. And I just would go up and down these ridges from those wrinkles. And man, they would come out awesome. So that's it. That's what I've been doing. And then just pressing it front and back. And it's been pretty freaking remarkable, man. It's been fun. It's been a cool thing because I feel like cleaning up Pokemon cards is great, but being able to do kind of like body work on them is really cool. All right, so let me turn this thing around to you guys, and I want to just let me take a look up here real quick. I want to always make sure I try to answer as many questions as I can. And if I miss you guys, it's not that I'm not looking at your question. I'm always looking around. So hold on one second. Hey, it looks like everything's good, right? And yeah, so anyways, you guys, what I want to do tonight, well, here's where I want to wrap up. I want to show you the Arch Manning card. Hopefully we got it flat. And I want to put this thing between a press. And I want to hold it overnight. Because tomorrow I'm going to have to do the pressing, the heat pressing back and forth. I hope so. I want to make it look as awesome as the Espeon because we all did it together. And I want you guys to see it and be like, cool, I want to go do something like this. So let me turn this around. All right, you guys, pardon me one second. I'm thirsty. I love you guys for answering questions. You guys, thanks for helping me out. So we're good. Yeah, guys, my old heat press is cool as hell. But I was just having a bunch of people saying, man, I'm having a hard time with this thing. It's bouncing all around. So I'm starting to feel a little reluctant to refer it. But if you got it and it works great, keep using it. Mine works great too. I just wanted to get a couple. You guys know me. I like tools. I'm a freaking mechanic, man. I'll have another reason for me to buy some tools. Yeah, you guys, once I dial this thing down, I promise, I'll have a well written out blog for this type of work. We're kind of just figuring it out right now. You know what I mean? So check this one out. When I soaked my Espeon, there's no sort of foil here. So look I'm already running into a new challenge here. Look at this one. Maybe it's a no-go to soak these, but look I'm getting a bunch of peel there. It's getting softer. That's what I need. We're going to find out together. But I know this looks ridiculous, you guys, and crazy. And it might not work on a full foil card because I soaked both of these. Well, no, that's foil. So, hey, this thing better work out. That's a good point, Mike. Some of the best tools are right there, you guys. Anytime you're working on something like Mike mentioned, I always touch corners and edges. Do you guys know my card tool? This? I put the tubing on here because when I was younger, well, until now, but I'm saying when I first started working on cards, I always liked using the back of my fingernail or thumbnail to work on edges. I don't know if it's just because I play guitar and I'm used to holding a pick or something like that, but I'm always in these little areas. But I like the tubing because I can go in there and work on little areas like that, so get creative, right? You use all your little tools, but yeah, fingers are good. This is kind of designed after using my finger, but I was I don't want to rub my fingers all over every edge, but use them. Sometimes you guys even just holding your two fingers, I call it your mini heat press, Don't forget, you're 100 degrees typically. All right, so we'll see how we do on this one. But here's what I wanted to do. Now, this looks ridiculous, right? It looks like so jacked up and so messed up. And it might be. But here's what I want to do. Here's what I learned with my other ones. It really depends on the back. And if the back is all saturated, it's going to pass that moisture to the front. And as weird as this looks right now, I have a feeling that after I compress it for a little bit, it's going to take somewhat of a flat shape. And that's when I can start getting busy with it. But like, I'm going to need, take a good look at this wacky wet thing. I'm not even going to wipe it down. I want all that moisture in there to continue to soften this wrinkled, messed up card. Because, you know, it's like I got it totally wet once when I soaked it in tap water for an hour to mess it up. I'm just hoping that we can get back in there and do it one more time. So check this out. I'm going to hold it like this. And I'm going to get our clips. And now I wish that I could, you know, get to the end of this with you guys tonight. But here's what I'm going to do. Being that it's like, it's hard, it's strangely hard to get a Pokemon card wet. You know, I think it's because it's like mainly tons of plastic, foil, stuff that doesn't really get wet, but it's even hard to like penetrate it. And like, if you guys ever see me soak like a Prism card or a Modern Sports card and it takes about 20 minutes to soak in, same thing with these things. So like when I tried doing this stuff in the past, it was just I didn't have all the right tools. The heat press, I think, was the main thing that probably could have helped me in the past. So like, again, is this a one size fits all for all your Pokemon cards? No way. No way. Like I showed you two that worked on really good this week. This one might suck. You know what I mean? But this is how I figured all this crazy stuff out, you guys. It's just like taking a million notes and sitting here with a stack of them and just doing it, you know? This is absolutely the hurry up and wait stage. Because I wish you guys, I could just be like, all right, we held it for 30 seconds. Now it's all evenly dispersed. Now let's take it over here. Maybe I'll get there. Jay's asking about a dimple or a pimple on a card. If it's on a plastic card, Jay, on the front, those plastic fronts never change. I saw somebody asking about a dimple before. On the front of a plastic, you guys, I think it just must be a bubble. Like when they put that top layer on, a bubble must pop or something like that because it's like molded plastic. It won't change shape, unfortunately. You know, I've never been able to have any success with anything like that, unfortunately. So here's what I want to do. Let's see if we can get that other. You guys got a minute? Hang out with me for one more second because I'm done with cards after this for the night. I'm gonna be done for the night. I was in this room literally all day screwing up Pokemon cards and playing with them, so I'm carded out for the day. You guys, on my YouTube page, I had a question about a how-to video. Any how-to video you need, go to my YouTube page, click on the word playlist at the top, and if it's something I know how to do, I'll teach you. And you'll see like corners, edges, dings, dents. But since you're on the live here, man, there's a bunch of other guys on here that will probably help you out too. You know what I mean? But go to my YouTube page, you guys. That's the toolbox. That's where I keep everything. But let's do the other one while you're here. Because two different scenarios. That card that we just did was totally... Here, I'm going to turn this off. We'll check out the Arch Manning here in a second too. That card I got wet and I let dry of its own devices and it turned into a Pringle or beef jerky. This card here that I'm going to show you, I wrinkled purposely. And maybe I got an idea. I'm thinking. All right, I got an idea. This is an energy card. I folded it earlier today. If you're just joining, I'll show you guys a picture because it's a visual, or my description's like not good enough. I'm trying to get also like heavy creases out. I think it's possible. I think it could be doable. So this card, earlier before you guys got here, I did this. And I'm just getting these out of a box of cards and folding them up, you know, like, I don't know how realistic it is to have like Pokemon cards like folded in half like that, but based on the pictures that all you guys send me, it happens. You know what I mean? It definitely, especially the older ones, if you were a kid having them. But here's where I probably could have done a better job on this one tonight. Never mind, I take that back. We're good. Here's what I want to do. This thing is all soft. See how nice this one is now? The one that we just put between there was like wrestling a freaking alligator. That thing was like crunchy and this I soaked earlier, and I just put it in the humidor to sit because something won't dry very well in the humidor. It will dry slowly, but I got that big O curve, right? You know, and then what I'm thinking here next, you guys, is I'm gonna hold this one flat for the night. Try to get it a little bit more flat because it's still wet. And if you guys start heat pressing something that's this wet, it's not gonna turn out well. It's gonna be messy. So let me grab a little card sandwich apparatus. And I'm gonna press out both of these cards tomorrow, and I'll film it and all that stuff because I would do it live, but it's not really a good live. It's just like a lot of sit around and waiting. You know what I mean? So I just put this between here, and I'm gonna hold it until the morning. And then tomorrow I am going to start pressing it. At least that's my plan for now. But I think throughout the evening tonight, it's not going to hold this thing flat, but it's going to get it a little bit more dry for sure. And it's going to get it in a position where I can start pressing it without like having it all wet and steaming it out. So I would suggest this, the big takeaway, Chris, yes, thank you for helping me sum that up. The big takeaway is don't put stuff in your press until it's close to being dry. And the way to get something, right now I'm just going to try to put the pressure on these things and just hopefully because that one that we were working on that was all just falling apart, even though it looks terrible, you guys, all of these looked terrible before I got them back to flat. So I'm glad you're able to see this madness, you know what I mean? I'm going to have to follow up on these tomorrow, but don't go anywhere. Let's see if I know the Arch Manning card didn't have a lot of time to like cool down and whatever, but I'll show it to you anyways. This was a card, you guys, that we got scratches out of, and we did a quick heat press on. So let's take a look at it. Generally, you guys, after doing a heat press, I would like to let this cool down all night, and we'll take a look at it. But I will probably, just for the sake of doing things right, I'll probably close it up and let it just rest out in there all night. So maybe it just will stay perfectly flat. I don't know. Let's take a look. I don't know if it's flat yet. Let's take a look. I'd say pretty good. Pretty good. Let's see if it's got a little bit of a wonkiness still to it. No, it's actually pretty damn good. All right, well, there we go, you guys. There you go. But I still think that I want to hold it flat for the rest of the night. Does that make sense, you guys? Because right now the card is still we did scratch removal on the front and like that, and the card was had a heavy curve to it. Maybe we got out that little indent on the back better. So fun stuff, right? You know what I mean? So what I'm going to do is just, we'll let it rest out. I'm going to put it back in the press because it's pretty darn good. But I just think it's better when it's held all night. So what I'm going to do is I'm not even going to turn the heat back on. We're just going to go back over here. I'm going to put arch manning in here. And I'm just going to let it sit for the rest of the night. So do that when you have a wonky, wobbly prism card or chrome card. And I can't believe, guys, an hour and 20 minutes went by that quick. So thanks for rolling with me on this one. I know that it was like a lot of conceptual stuff, and maybe soaking a Pokemon card is kind of weird and out there, you guys, but just, I'm always trying stuff out, so have fun. I would say there's a whole bunch of base cards, and if you don't do anything with them, go get better at working on your cards by using them to do crazy fun stuff like that, you know what I mean? And, I am gonna, if I end up liking this press, you guys, I'll link it up. I've only used it a few times. It works fine. Let me read a couple of questions, you guys, if you don't mind. Yes, that's right. Scuba. If you're going to heat press a few cards and you want to take them out, you can just keep them between some plastic and put a little weight on top to keep them pressed. I find after you do a card press, because I don't even know I think my Pokemon cards turned out pretty good, but I rushed this one because it was so freaking sweet. What's it called? Espeon. I rushed this one to show it to you guys because I was really proud of it, but I can tell that I could press it a little bit longer. It's a little wobbly. But, that's easy. Now that you got a heat press, it's not too tricky. But yeah, I'm glad you guys like the I'm glad you guys like the experiment, why not? It's fun. I think it's fun that you guys all like to come out here and hang out. And, hey, for all of you guys who wrote me, hey, it was your first time coming, come anytime. It's fun to do this type of stuff, Usually TV sucks anyway, so if I can entertain you for an hour and teach you something fun and kick-ass to do with your, have your own private time and work on your collection, or do this with, your kids or your wife or whatever, have fun. You know what I mean? It's fun to develop new skills, especially around fun things like cards and collecting and stuff like that. So you guys are the best. I love you guys. I know I sit here and talk all night. You're the best. I appreciate y'all. And I'll show you these follow-ups tomorrow. All right. And, last question I had on here, DJ Ray, the heat press a chrome card. I did it for 30 minutes. I just did this one for 30 minutes. If I kept it closed all night, it'll be nice and cool and flat in the morning. So, and you guys, don't be afraid of a heat press. I would say be afraid of a heat pen. Those things are kind of scary, so just careful with stuff like that. But a heat press, simple, you guys. If I can do it, you can do it. And I'm the ultimate. I like to refer to myself as the ultimate layman. If I can do it, you can do it. All right, I mean that. So, yeah, you guys are the best. I appreciate you guys sending all my absolute love. And I said it a few times in the past couple of days. I mean it, man. The world's a better place with you participating in it. So if you're having struggles or you're having any hurts or habits or hang-ups, man, and you need to change, do it. I tell you what, I'm always happy to talk about my road to recovery and hopefully get you on yours if you need it. You know what I mean? So I'm happy to talk about, card questions anytime, but, if you're struggling, man, you need somebody to kick you in the butt and tell you that it's time to get busy living. I'll happily oblige for that too. All right. I'm Kurt with Kurt's Card Care. See you guys soon. Later.